Okay, good morning, all my students. So today we'll look into some of the problems that you come across in Module 2. I hope I have posted some problems in Module 1 long back. So let us look into problems in Module 2 which is related to the joint probability functions. So joint probability, which is multiple random variables which we are looking into now. Okay, the first problem is the following table gives the joint probability distribution of x and y. Now your job is to find out the marginal density functions of x and y. So given table is the joint probability distribution of x and y. Okay, so y is something which you take vertical and x value is something which you take horizontal. So how to find out the marginal densities of x and y? That is what we need to know here. Very simple. So the marginal density of x is something where you add the values horizontally. So here, you add values which is vertical, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this 1 and 2 is related to y, and this 1, 2, 3 is related to x. So you add the values of 1, and then you add values of 2, and then you add the values of 3. That is what the marginal density of x that you get. So when I try to write the marginal density of x, which is p of x equals xi, which is pi, which is summation of pij, where you can see summation is in terms of j. So here marginal density of y is summation in terms of I. Okay. So when I say summation in terms of j, we go with vertical addition. So therefore p of x would be equal to 0.1 plus 0.2 is 0.3, again 0.1 plus 0.3 is 0.4, and then 0.2 plus 0.1 is 0.3. And you add all these three, that would be the marginal density of the variable x. Okay, so which will be somewhere around 1. Normally the total probability should always be equal to 1, which you all know it. Similarly for y, if I take, I will add horizontal values. So for y, in terms of this 1, I have 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, therefore I will get 0.4. Similarly for this 2, I get 0.2, 0.3, 0.1. So if you add all these 3, you get 0.6. So this is the marginal density of y. I hope given a table and how to find out the marginal density of x and y, I hope you got this from this particular problem. Alright, so let us go to the next problem. Okay, in problem 2, they have given the function f of x comma y, which is joint probability function, which you can see there, where x and y are the two random variables that we have. So it's a joint probability density function that is been given, which is f of x comma y equals k into xy into e power minus of x square plus y square, where x is greater than or equal to 0 and y is also greater than or equal to 0. I'm sorry, while typing the formula I made it, this 0 should come here because x is greater than or equal to 0, y is also greater than or equal to 0. So you need to find out okay. So this is what I can say here. I have just changed whatever I wanted to. Okay, so x is greater than or equal to 0 and y is greater than or equal to 0, which is the probability density function, joint probability density function, which is given. Now your job is to find the constant k. Okay, your job is to find the constant k, find the value of k, which is a constant. So how to find out? I hope if you go to the properties of joint probability density function, we had an area formula. So in the properties of joint PDF, we have seen the area formula where integration of minus infinity to plus infinity, integration of, so it's a joint probability, so you get double integrals here, which is in terms of minus infinity to infinity. the joint PDF dy dx. So you get this dy dx, which is joint probability density function area, which is equal to 1. So this is what the total area, which is equal to 1. This is what the property that we have seen in my previous video in module 2. I hope this properties on joint PDF we have seen. So we are equating that to 1. Now take this f of x comma y and then substitute here in this integral equation, and then integrate in terms of x and y. So if you separate this equation in terms of x and y, you can see it is k into x into e power minus x square that you get, and that is integrated in terms of dx, and then you will get k into y into e power minus x square minus y square dy. So here what we are doing is, I hope if you remember, we try to integrate x in terms of x and y in terms of y. I am sorry, this should be dy, this is dy. Okay, so therefore when you integrate this and then apply the limit whatever we have, apply the limit changed from minus infinity to infinity was there, and it got changed to 0 to infinity. Why? Because in the question they have given x is greater than or equal to 0. So anything greater than 0 should be 0 to infinity. They have not given another limit value. In some cases they give x is greater than some value and less than some value. There the limit gets changed according to the two values. But here they have given greater than or equal to 0. Therefore one limit is 0, the other limit value is anything beyond 0, which is infinity only, we can assume. So once you integrate that and apply the limits, finally you will end up with k by 4 equals 1. So k by 4 equals 1 because k is a constant which we have taken outside. So this entire integration that you do, and the result that you get is 1 by 4 after applying the limit. So k multiplied by 1 by 4 will be k by 4, which is equal to 1, Therefore k is the value of k is 4. Okay, so I hope you got how to find out the value of any constant for a given joint PDF and by considering the area formula. Okay, let us go to the next problem. So here in this problem they have given the joint probability density function. Here it is given cx into 1 minus x, where x and y is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1, or else other than this between this 0 to 1 it is 0. So x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to y, whereas y is greater than or equal to x and less than or equal to 1. So that is what, so they have asked you to find out the value of find out the value of c. Okay, so they have asked you to find out the value of this c in the question. You can see this c in the question. So it is same thing what we did earlier. The only thing is the limit values that you need to know what to apply. So the value of x, x will have a limit 0 to y, whereas y will have the limit 0 to 1 because y is greater than or equal to x. So definitely y should be greater than or equal to 0. But x here is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to y. Therefore the limitation for x will be 0 to y. But for the limits applied for y variable will be 0 to 1. I hope you got this limits that we are applying. Again it is an area formula which we have considered. So double integral of f of x comma y will be equal to 1. That is what we have taken here. Now first thing is you integrate this in terms of x and then apply the limit 0 to y, and after applying the limit which you have integrated in terms of x, you integrated this equation in terms of x and applied the limit 0 to y, you will get this equation, which is c by 6 integration of 0 to 1 3y square minus 2y cube dy. Now again this equation is integrated in terms of y and then applied the limit 0 and 1, and finally you are equating that to 1. Therefore you get c by 6 multiplied by 1 minus 1 over 2, which is equal to 1. So 2 minus 1 by 2, right? So therefore 2 into 1 minus half is half. So half into c by 6 equals 1. Therefore c will be equal to 12. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the value of C here. So finally C value will be equal to 12. Okay, C value will be equal to 12. So coming to the joint next problem 4. So let us go to the next problem 4. So here in this problem they have given joint probability mass function of x comma y is given by p of x comma y equals k into 2x plus 3y, where x equals 0, 1, 2 and y equals 1, 2, 3. Now they are asking you to find out the marginal probability distribution of x. Okay, now the probability mass function should be elaborated. Means you need to expand the probability mass function of x comma y by using this given equation p of x comma y equals k into 2x plus 3y. Now how do you expand this PMF? It's very simple. Apply the value of x as 0, 1, 2 and y as 1, 2, 3. So that is what you can see. X in the vertical side it is 0, 1, 2 and y is 1, 2, 3. And then substitute these values. So what happens for this equation when x equals 0 and y equals 1? So here x equals 0 and y equals 1. So 0 into 2 is 0, 3 into 1 is 3, so you get 3k. So that is what you can see this entry 3k here in this table. Similarly x equals 0 and y equals 2. So 0 plus 3 into 2 is 6, so you get 6k. Similarly x equals 0 and y equals 3, 3 3 is a 9k. So for next entry is when x equals 1 and y equals 1. X equals 1, y equals 2. X equals 1, y equals 3. Similarly x equals 2, y equals 1. X equals 2, y equals 2. X equals 2, y equals 3. So you get this table you get by substituting the values of x and y, where x and y is given in this question as 0, 1, 2 is x and 1, 2, 3 is y. So when you add all these issues, when you add all these probability values, see these are all probability values, and we know addition of all probability values will be equal to 1, right? Addition of all these probability values should be equal to 1. So therefore summation of in terms of y, summation in terms of x, which is p of x comma y, equals 1. It means this summation of summation is nothing but this table. Add all this 9 values you have in this table and see what you get k. Okay, so 3k plus 6k plus 9k plus 5k plus 8k plus 11k plus 7k plus 10k plus 13k. You get overall which is equal to 72k. So which is equal to 1, and you get k equals 1 over 72. Now your job is to find out what is the marginal distribution of x. So x is what? It is 0, 1, 2. So it is 6 plus 3, 9 plus 9, 18. So you are adding horizontal. So for 0 it is 3 plus 6 plus 9, which is 18 divided by 72. Why divided by 72? Because k equals 1 over 72. So 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 9, 18 into 1 over 72 is 18 by 72. Similarly 8 plus 11 is 19, 19 plus 5 is 24. 24k, so 24 by 72. Similarly 10 plus 7 is 17, 17 plus 13 is 30, so 30k, so 30 into 1 by 72 is 30 by 72. So this is the marginal distribution of x for a given joint probability mass function p of x comma y equals k into 2x plus 3. I hope the problem 4 is clear to you. Okay. Now let us go to the fifth problem. So in this x and y are independent random variables, which is what given, and they have given the variance values of x and y as 8 and 5. They are asking you to find out the variance of 3x minus 4y equation. So they have given x and y are independent random variables. So you all know what is independent random variable is all about. The definition is the total probability density function or the joint probability density function of x and y will be equal to the product of marginal density function of x and y. So therefore that is how you can say x and y are independent random variables. Anyhow, they have given with variance 8 and 5 and they are asking you to find the variance of 3x minus 4y. Very simple. So first of all you write what are the given values. Variance of x is given as 8 and variance of y is given as 5. So what we need to find out is here variance of 3x minus 4y. So for this we do have a formula. Variance of ax minus by would be equal to a square into variance of x plus b square into variance of y. A square into variance of x plus b square into variance of y. So therefore variance of 3x minus 4y would be equal to 3 square into variance of x plus 4 square into variance of y. So y 3 is what we have in terms of a, which is 3 square, and 4 is in the place of b, so 4 square. So 3 square is 9 into 8 plus 4 square is 16 into 5, because variance of x is 8 and variance of y is 5. So you get total 152. Okay, so this is how you find out the variance of the given equation when variance of x and y is given. Okay, let us go to the next problem. So problem 6, it says find the value of k if f of x comma y equals k into 1 minus x into 1 minus y for x being greater than 0 and 1 and even y is greater than 0 and 1. Here it is given x comma y is greater than 0 and less than 1. So both x and y are greater than 0 and less than 1. So when you apply the limit for integration, it is 0 to 1 for x and even 0 to 1 for y. So find the value of k for the given joint density function. Okay. So again you are going to take an area formula, which is integration of minus infinity to plus infinity, integration of minus infinity to plus infinity, f of x comma y dy dx equals 1. So now you all know, as I said, the limitation that we apply for this integration 0 to 1 and 0 to 1. So k into 1 minus x into 1 minus y is f of x comma y. We substitute that here. And then take out k outside and separate this integration in terms of x and y. This is what we get. And after integrating, you see that k into x minus x square by 2 with the limit 0 to 1 and y minus y square by 2 with the limit 0 to 1, which is equal to 1. Finally, we get k by 4, because this limitation after applying 0 to 1, we get 1 over 4 is what the value that we get. So k into 1 by 4 equals 1, where k equals 4 is the solution. Okay, problem 7. So we have x and y which are random variables, and the joint probability density function which is given as f of x comma y equals 1 over 8 into 6 minus x minus y, where x being greater than 0 and less than 2, y being greater than 2 and less than 4. So they are asking you to find out p of x less than 1 and y less than 3. So x less than 1 and y less than 3. So what we need to do? So here the probability of x less than 1, y less than 3 is what we need to do. So again the probability will take the double integration itself, like what area value that we have seen, but this is not equated to 1. We need to find out what is the probability of this value. That is what it is given here. But the only thing is you need to know what is the limits that we apply. You can't apply 0 to 2 and 2 to 4 for x and y. You need to know what is x is less than and y is less than, what value that you should see inside this probability. So here it says less than 1, so the limitation goes from 0 to 1. 2 will not come. Okay, 0 to 1 will be the integration limit that you apply. Similarly, y is less than 3, therefore you apply the limit from 2 to 3. 4 will not come. So 2 to 3 is the limits that you apply for the y integration. Then finally, we are going to solve this by applying limits and integrating it. So we get 1 by 8 integration of 0 to 1. So first I have integrated in terms of y, and then I have got 7 by 2 minus x after applying the limit, and then I am integrating this in terms of x. So therefore finally, after integrating this with respect to x and applying the limits and multiplying it by 1 by 8, I will be ending up with the result 3 by 8. Okay, problem 8. So here joint PDF of x comma y is given as f of x comma y would be equal to 1 over 4 into 1 plus xy, where the value of x or magnitude of x would be less than 1 and value of y would be less than 1 and equals 0 otherwise. Okay. Show that x and y are not independent. Show that the x and y are not independent. Can you imagine what would be the algorithm to show that x and y are not independent? So I told you the definition earlier that if x and y are independent, then the joint probability function of x and y would be equal to the product of two marginal density functions in terms of x and y. So you take marginal density function of x and marginal density function of y, you take multiplication of that marginal density functions, then that multiplied value should be equal to the total value that you get when you take joint probability density function. So if you say they both are not independent, then it means that this value should not be equal, means the joint probability density function should not be equal to the product of these two values. Okay, so that is what we need to prove now. So first thing is we need to find out what is the marginal density function of x. So here to find out that, we have a formula f of x equals integration of minus infinity to plus infinity. You integrate f of the joint PDF in terms of y to find out PDF of x, marginal PDF of x. You integrate joint PDF in terms of x to get marginal PDF of y. So that is what it is. Y, so you integrate with respect to y, you get marginal PDF of x, and you integrate in terms of x, you get marginal PDF of y. Okay, now applying the limit is what we need to know. When I say mod of x, see here it is magnitude of x. It means that the limitation of the limits for x and y will be between -1 and 1. Will be -1 and 1. Okay. So it will be between -1 and 1. It is as good as x being greater than -1 and less than 1. That is the limitation that we will have. Here also it is y is greater than -1 and less than 1, and for the others it is equal to 0. So therefore f of x would be equal to integration of -1 to +1, and we have f of x comma y is 1/4 into 1 plus xy dy. So you integrate this in terms of y and then substitute the limit, and you see that you get finally the result is 1/2. Therefore f of x equals 1/2 for x being between -1 and 1, and f of x equals 0 otherwise. That is what we have got here. Okay. For this limits of x and y, f of x is this. For other values of x and y, it is 0. Similarly, if I want to find out marginal PDF of y, so I am going to integrate in terms of x. So I will integrate in terms of x. Finally, I am left out with 1/2, where y value is between -1 and 1. So f of y is all again equal to 1/2 for y being between -1 and 1 and 0 otherwise. Now if you take the product of f of x and f of y, you will get 1/2 into 1/2 is 1/4, but f of x comma y is 1/4 into 1 plus xy. So this 1 plus xy will be missed if you take the product of this marginal PDFs, because 1/2 into 1/2 is just 1/4. Therefore finally you see f of x into f of y is nowhere equal to f of x comma y. Therefore x and y are not independent. If they are equal, then it is independent. If they are not equal, then it is not independent. Okay, let us go with the next problem. So here the conditional probability density function of x and y is given by f of x by y equals x plus y by 1 plus y into e power minus x, where x is between 0 and infinity and y is between 0 and infinity. So here they have asked to find out what is p of x less than 1 and y x is less than 1 and y is equal to 2. So probability of x being less than 1 for y is equal to 2 is what we need to find out. So here when I take y equals 2 here, when I take y equals 2, because that is the probability they have asked. So when I take y equals 2 for f of x, then if you substitute y there, if you substitute for this f of x by y equals 2, that is what it means. So it is x plus 2 divided by 1 plus 2 is 3. So you get x plus 2 by 3 into e power minus x. So if I want to find out the probability of x being less than 1 for y equals 2, then less than 1 means the limitation of x will be 0 to 1. Okay, x being less than 1 means the limitations that we apply for this integration is 0 to 1. So integration of 0 to 1, x plus 2 by 3 into e power minus x. Why we are going to take this value? Because we do have y equals 2, so you should substitute y equals 2 in this equation. So x plus 2 by 3 into e power minus x into dx. So you try to integrate this in terms of x. Finally you left out with 1/3 integration of 0 to 1 x into e power minus x dx plus 2 by 3 into integration of 0 to 1 e power minus x dx. So we have separated this equation in terms of x by 3 into e power minus x plus 2 by 3 into e power minus x. So once you try to try to solve this equation and apply the limit, you will be left out with 1 minus 4 by 3 into e power minus 1. This is the final solution. This is the probability of x being less than 1 for y is equal to 2. Okay, I hope this problem is clear to you. Okay, let us go with next problem. So the joint PDF of two random variables x and y is given by f of x comma y equals 1 over 8 into x minus y, where x being greater than 0, less than 2, and y being greater than minus x and less than x. And these values are 0 if for otherwise. Okay. So what would be the question here is find f of y by x. So find f of y by x, that is what the question is asking. Find the function f of y by x. So f of y by x is being found by binomial theorem, where f of y by x equals f of x comma y divided by f of x. So that is some sort of binomial theorem which we use to find out what is f of y by x, or the conditional probability theorem also we can say. Okay. So therefore what is that? F of x would be equal to integration of minus infinity to plus infinity f of x comma y dy. So I will try to find out the marginal density function of x here, because I need the joint probability density function to find out f of y by x, and I need f of x, which is the marginal density function of f of x, the variable x. So here in case if they have given f of x by y, very simple, it would be f of x comma y divided by f of y. So if they give f of x comma x by y, then denominator will change from f of x to f of y. As they have given f of y by x, denominator will have marginal density function of x. So if I want to have marginal density function of x, then I need to integrate this joint probability function in terms of y, and the limit takes from not minus a. This is the general equations that we have, but here the limit changes from minus x to plus x. The reason is y is varying between minus x to plus x. So you vary between minus x to plus x, so 1 over 8 into x minus y dy, and once you solve this integration and apply the limit, you will end up in getting x cube by 4. So x cube by 4. Now the finding out f of y by x is very simple now. Take f of x comma y, which is 1 over 8 x into x minus y, divide that by x cube by 4, and finally the result what you get is x minus y by 2x square, for y being greater than minus x and less than x. So I hope this you are fine, means you got it. Okay. So similarly f of x by y, if they have asked, then you need to find out the marginal density function in terms of y for the variable y. So if you want to find out f of y, then you are going to integrate that PDF in terms of x, and the result what you get, you are going to apply that here, which is f of y. This gets changed to f of y if f of x by y is been asked. Okay, now the next problem is show that the covariance of ax plus b comma cy plus d equals ac into covariance of ax comma y. Okay. So for this, let us consider first u equals ax plus b and b equals cy plus d. So when I say expectation of u is being considered, so it is nothing but the expectation of u will take in terms of expectation of x. So expectation of v will also be in terms of expectation of y, and other things will be constant. So therefore expectation of u would be equal to a into expectation of x plus b. Expectation of v would be equal to c into expectation of y plus d. Here a, b, c, d are constants. Okay. Now when I take u minus e of u, okay, when I take u minus e of u, so it is a into x plus b minus a into ex minus b. So I hope b and b gets cancelled, so I am left out with a into x minus e of x. Similarly, if I take v minus e of v, so I get c into y minus e of y. So this is what I get. So covariance of ax plus b comma cy plus d would be equal to covariance of u comma v. So it is covariance of u comma v means what? It is the expectation of u minus EU and v minus EV. Okay, so E of A into x minus EX into C into y minus EY. So if you take AC common, you get E of x minus EX and y minus E of y. So this x minus EX is nothing but covariance of means this entire term will be equal to covariance of x comma y. See, x minus EX, if you remember, it is nothing but x minus mu. Mu is nothing but E of x, expectation of x. So when I say E of x minus mu into y minus mu, if you remember earlier we have discussed in module 2, that is nothing but covariance of x comma y. Okay, so that is what finally you get AC into covariance of x comma y is what you get finally. Okay, let us go with the next problem. Suppose that x and y have the following joint probability distribution. So here y is 1, 3, 5, which have f of x comma y is 2, 4, which is 0.10, 0.20, 0.10 and 0.15, 0.30 and 0.15. So this is f of x comma y values that we have. So suppose that x and y have the following joint probability distribution. So this is completely joint PDF values that you can see. So here the question is find the marginal distribution of x and find the marginal distribution of y. So it's quite a different problem that we have seen now. Means earlier we had one function which is joint probability density function, but he has given distribution now. Now you need to find out what is marginal distribution of x and marginal distribution of y. So the marginal distribution of x is p of x equals to, why it is p of x equals, this is the values which is in terms of x and this values goes in terms of y. Okay, 1, 3, 5 is y, 2 and 4 is in terms of x. Therefore p of x equals 2, which is equal to what? P of x equals 2 comma y equals 1 plus p of x equals 2 comma y equals 3. So here p of x equals 2, 1, 3, 5. So that is what you can see, 1, 3, 5, x equals to, x equals to, x equals to. So when I say p of x equals to, it means that you are adding all these three values, 0.10, 0.20, 0.10. So what do you get? 0.40. You get 0.40. Similarly, if you have p of x equals 4, you add these three values, 0.15. So what is this? P of x equals 4, y equals 1, P of x equals 4, y equals 3, P of x equals 4, y equals 5. So you add these three values, so you get 0.15 plus 0.30 plus 0.15. So it is 0.15, 0.30, 0.15, you get 0.60. Therefore the marginal distribution of x is what? For x being 2 and 4, the fx of x would be equal to 0.4 and 0.6. That is what you got with these two values. And if you add these two, definitely that total value should be equal to 1 always. So if I ask you to find out what is marginal distribution of y, so you do addition horizontal, which is p of y equals 1, x equals 2 plus p of y equals 1, x equals 4. So 0.10 plus 0.15, similarly 0.20, 0.30, 0.10, 0.1. So you add those values and you get 0.25, 0.50, 0.25. So that is the marginal distribution function of y. So again, if you add this marginal distribution values of y, all three values should give, finally the total should always be 1. Okay, so let us go with the next problem. So let us think x denotes the reaction time in seconds to a certain stimulant and y denotes the temperature in degree Fahrenheit, at which a certain reaction starts to take place. Suppose that two random variables x and y have the joint density, which is given by f of x comma y equals 4xy for x greater than 0 less than 1 and y being greater than 0 and less than 1. Okay, so 0 otherwise, other than these values of x and y, it is the joint PDF is 0. So it is, you don't worry about the question which is been asked. Just worry about what is given and what need to be calculated. So here you need to, here the given is PDF is given, joint PDF is given. You need to find out what is probability of x being greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to half, and y being greater than or equal to quarter and less than or equal to half. So that is what we need to find out. And also we need to find out what is probability of x being less than y. So I hope in the question the x denotes the reaction time in seconds. So x denotes the time, y denotes the temperature. That is the only two things you need to keep in mind. X denotes time, y denotes temperature. Joint PDF is given. We need to find out these two possibilities which is been asked. Okay, so let us go with the solution. So very simple. I hope you know that double integration in terms of y and x is what we need to go with this particular probability, joint probability. So here x is varying between 0 to half and y is varying between quarter and half. So I can take these limits because x is greater than 0 and less than 1 and y is greater than 0 and less than 1. Therefore these values, whatever it is given in this question, they both comes between 0 and 1. So therefore you can find out this probability by applying the limits whatever it is given in this question. So 0 to half, quarter to half, f of x comma y d by dx. So I hope you know, substitute f of x comma y which is given in the question, which is 4xy. So separate this 4x and y and so on in terms of y and x, and then integrate it, and then integrate in terms of x and substitute the values of x into that particular place. Finally you see that you will be left out with 3 by 8 into 1 over 8 by 3, 8 into 3. So 3 gets cancelled, so you will be left out with 1 over 64. Means the final result of this integration is 1 over 64. 3 gets cancelled, 8 8 is 64, so 1 over 64. So that is what 1 over 64 is the result you got. Now your next job is to find out what is p of x being less than y. So again this will again go with the limitation application that we apply. Y limit will remain as 0 to 1. Now x limit changes to 0 to y. Right? X is less than y. So the other limit of x is always 0, whereas another limit value will change to y. Instead of 1 it will change to y because it is saying x is less than y. So now again it's very simple, only this limit gets changed. Now integrate this f of xy in terms of x, and then whatever the result that you get, apply the limit 0 and y, and for that value you integrate in terms of y, and finally you apply the limit 0 to 1. So finally you will see that p of x less than y, you will end up in the result 1 over 2. I hope students, you people can do this integration part, which you don't, I don't think so you need explanation on this. I hope you people have done enough integration part in your mathematics that you people have learned in all 3 semesters in first year and second year. So I hope integration you can do it by yourself. The only thing is how to write this first equation is what you need to know, and after that it is a simple mathematical calculation that you have. So finally you see probability of x less than y would be equal to 1 over 2. That is the result that we get. Okay, let us go with the problem 14. So here in this problem the joint probability density function of two-dimensional random variable x and y is given, which is f of x comma y would be equal to x cube y square by 16, where x is varying between 0 and 2 and y is varying between 0 and 2 and 0 otherwise. Find the marginal densities of x and y. In addition, you also find out the cumulative distribution for x and y. So till now we calculated marginal, but now the question is continued with finding out CDF. So you need to find out what is cumulative distributions for this x and y. Okay. So first we'll go with marginal density of x. So we know that marginal density of x is given by fx of x, which is minus infinity. So you would integrate in terms of y. So x cube y cube by 16 is what f of x comma y is given. So you integrate this equation in terms of y and apply the limit. So you will end up with x cube by 4 for being x is between 0 and 2, 0 otherwise. Similarly, you find out marginal density of y by integrating in terms of x. So you get y cube by 4 for y being 0 to 2 and 0 otherwise. So what is the cumulative distribution function of x and y is what the next question. So you all know that the cumulative distribution function of a variable x, so you've got fx of x, You integrate that fx of x in terms of x, you get the cumulative distribution function of x. So integrate fx of x dx is integration of x cube by 4 dx, which is x to the power of 4 by 16. So here you need to write the distribution now. This is they are asking, this is the function whatever we have arrived, but distribution is what? So this x to the power of 4 by 16 is the value which you get between x being greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 2. So that is the value which we have got. What if x is less than 0? Then the CDF would be equal to 0. What if it is x is greater than 2? Then the CDF would be equal to 1. So this is the distribution what you have to write in the final after finding out CDF. Similarly for cumulative distribution of y, so you have integration of f of y dy. So in the earlier slide we see that the marginal density of y is being obtained as y cube by 4. So same way you have here y cube by 4 into dy. So here you get y to the power of 4 by 16. Similarly the marginal this g is written only to differentiate y and x. Even this is also a cumulative distribution function. So for x it is represented by f and for y it is been represented by g. That is the only difference that you can find out here. So g of y, which is the cumulative distribution function distribution, would be equal to y to the power of 4 by 16 for y being between 0 and 2, and for y less than 0 it is 0, and for y greater than 2 it is 1. So let us look into the next problem. So here in this problem they have given the joint density function f of x comma y equals 6 minus x minus y by 8, where x is being between 0 to 2 and y is being between 2 to 4, and 0 for other values of x and y. F of x comma y will be equal to 0. So here what you need to find out here is find out probability of y being greater than 2 and less than 3 by x, and which is equal to 2. Okay, it's quite different, and here it says it is equal to 2. Y is between 3 by x and 2 and it is equal to 2. Okay, let us see that. So the marginal density of x is what first we need to find out. Why? Because it is probability of y being greater than 2 and less than 3 by x is what it is given. So there is some sort of conditional probability function which we need to find out. Okay, so we'll see what is that. We'll see what is that equation that we normally get. So that equation is what is probability of y being greater than a less than or equal to b by x equals x. Okay, y being greater than a less than b by x equals x would be equal to integration of a to b, integration of the limit a to b, f of y by x dy. This is the formula. Okay, this is the formula which you people should keep in mind. So for finding out this probability, I need to first find out what is f of y by x. Now to find out f of y by x, I need to know what is f of x comma y, and I also need to know what is fx of x. So as in the question f of x comma y, it is already given. My job is to find out what is fx of x. Therefore, I am first finding out the marginal density of x, which is f of x of x. So as I told you till now, you know how to find out marginal density function of x is integration of f of x comma y dy. So you integrate in terms of y, so you get marginal density of x. So here limitation would be 2 to 4, because in the question they say y is between 2 to 4. Therefore here the limit of integration will be 2 to 4. So 1 over 8 into integration of 2 to 4, 6 minus x minus y into dy. So 1 over 8 into 6 minus x into magnitude of y, means this is the limitation 2 to 4 which we apply for y, minus y square by 2 with the limitation 2 to 4. So after applying the limit and finding out the solution, you will end up in 1 over 8 into 6 minus 2x. So this is what fx of x for x being between 0 to 2. So this is the marginal density function of x that we have found at the end. So whenever you find a marginal density function of x or y, when I am finding marginal density function of x, I apply the limit for in terms of y and integrate in terms of y, and finally I will write the function result and try to write the distribution in terms of x. Okay, see the answer finally written in terms of x with the distribution of x, and applied limit is the limit of y in terms of y and integrated in terms of y to find out marginal density of x. Similarly, to find out the marginal density of y, you apply the limit of x, integrate in terms of x, finally you will get the equation in terms of y with the distribution values of y. So finally you find out what is f of y by x by applying f of x comma y and fx of x, and you get 6 minus x minus y divided by 6 minus 2x, because 1 over 8 and 1 over 8 gets cancelled. Now this 6 minus x minus y and 6 minus 2x is applied in terms of this integration, because this integration is in terms of dy, and you are integrating f of y by x. So here the limitation changed to 2 to 3, the limit values changed to 2 to 3, because a and b value is nothing but 2 and 3 which we have in the question. So a goes with 2 and b goes with 3, and you integrate this f of y by x dy in terms of y and apply the limit. Finally the answer that you will end up in after applying the limit, you can see that the answer that you get at the end is 3 by 4. That is the solution that you get. 3 by 4 is the solution that you get at the end. I hope this formula is what you need to keep in mind. This formula in terms of probability is what you need to keep in mind. So I hope all 15 problems which I did till now is clear to you in module 2. So I'll come up with more and another couple of videos with some of problems that we have in module 2 and also module 3. I hope by now I should see through that you people have watched all my videos of all the modules that I have posted, and meanwhile please also watch the videos which I am posting in terms of problems that we have in these modules. This will help you in learning or preparing for the exams for both theory and problems. Thank you.